Episode 1, Freshmen reflect on the high school admissions process and the Townsend Harris High School application in particular. Welcome to Keeping It Classic, Townsend Harris High School's official student-run podcast. I'm your host, Nana-Ama Kwarteng, presenting you with the first episode where we will discuss the high school admissions process, the challenges it presented for incoming freshmen, and how it may have strengthened them academically. Today I'm joined with some incoming freshmen.
I'm Amaya.
I'm Afarah.
And I'm Marchella.
My first question will be, what were you required to do to apply to Townsend Harris?
We had to film a video and write an essay. The video had to be under 2 minutes and the essay around 500 words.
What was the essay prompt?
We were given 2 lines, one from the Ephebic Oath and one from Dr. Martin Luther King's letter from Birmingham jail. And the prompt was, considering Dr. King's statement, should Townsend Harris students swear to resist anyone who disobeys the law? And we had to develop and support a perspective on the question.
What was the video prompt?
We had to submit a 2-minute video that has an introduction to who we are and an answer to the question of how we can leave our city greater than we found it, which was by identifying 2 talents, interests, abilities, or gifts we have that would help our school improve.
How difficult were making the essay and the video?
I think it was a medium difficulty level. I struggled, equally both on the essay and the video, because for the essay, I wasn't sure what Townsend was looking for at first, and I wasn't sure how to approach it. And for the video, I just kept on messing up, and I had to refilm it a bunch of times.
I think the video was more difficult for me than writing the essay because the video was under 2 minutes and I rambled a lot. But for the essay, it was writing was my strong suit, so I knew that I could put my own opinion into it and use a good flow that would help the reader understand.
I found the essay to be more difficult because compared to talking about yourself, you had to really critically assess if disobeying a law is truly wrong, if it's for the benefit of society as a whole. And that really got me thinking, is it right or is it wrong? And about morals and about where you come from.
How did your writing style impact how you wrote your essay?
I usually follow a pretty formal writing style with essays, and I did kind of do that with the Townsend essay, but I also try to do some new things and be creative with it as well.
I also tried to follow a formal writing style, but I also made the paragraphs so it was flowing into one idea. And I used a lot of creativity and voice into it while also trying to follow the criteria.
I would have to agree with everyone else because I also tried to follow a formal style, but I also wanted to keep my voice so that they know that this is from the perspective and lenses of a 14-year-old girl, and that it was raw and it was real.
How did your personal opinions and the opinions of others affect how you answered your essay?
So I wrote my essay fully before having someone review it, and then when I did have someone review it, it was my ELA teacher, and she told me that I had to include pieces of evidence from the articles I included, and I didn't know that before, so I had to rewrite a lot of it.
I only had my mom look over my essay because I wasn't really interested in getting other opinions, and I used my views of society and how we follow the law as everyday people and tried to put that into my essay.
I asked 3 people, which was my uncle, a friend, and then a teacher, and these personal opinions really shaped the bulk of my essay, but I wrote it on my own to begin with, but these 3 people really helped me when clarifying what I tried to say in my essay.
And while applying for Townsend Harris, you guys also applied to different high schools. So how do you think applying for other schools affected your time management for your applications?
So I also applied to Beacon and Baccalaureate. Beacon had you write another essay, and Baccalaureate had me do a video. I think their prompts were simpler than Townsend's, and I put less time into those things than I did with the Townsend video and essay, but it did affect my time and it made it more stressful too.
I applied to multiple consortium schools, which I all needed either videos or essays for. One of them was BARD, which was the most difficult one when I was also trying to apply for Townsend, because BARD had a more strict criteria and they were asking for more, and that was very difficult to juggle with also having school time and trying to study for other things. It was very overlapping and it was like overwhelming.
Townsend was like the only school that I applied to that needed an essay and a video, but I was applying for the specialized high school exam, or the SHSAT, during this time, and I remember that I applied for a prep school where once a week from 9 a.m. to like 3 p.m. we'd be like studying English, math, grammar, and then taking a 3-hour test afterwards, and it really took up a bunch of my time that I only started writing the essay around Thanksgiving.
So would you prefer a different prompt for any essays or videos?
No, I think the essay prompt brought out the best in my writing and allowed me to show who I am, as well as the video prompt too.
Which part of the application process did you enjoy the most?
I definitely enjoyed the writing essay portion more because I loved the prompt that they gave us. I think it was a way for me to express who I am and what my morals are and like what I think of my own personal dignity. And yeah.
How did you organize the structure of your video in order to fit the time limit, or the structure of your essays to fit the word count?
So I believe for the essay, I wrote on Google Docs, so there was like a word count. So or I would use like a dictionary or a thesaurus to find synonyms or words that would lessen the word count so that it wouldn't go over 500 words. And then for the video, I believe that the limit was 250. So I remember using like a text-to-speech and then like recording how long it was and then cutting down based on the time it was to speak. And then I would also like record a lot, because sometimes I would go over the limit.
How confident were you after submitting your admission?
I was pretty confident because I reviewed my essay and my video many times, and the people who reviewed it too told me it was good, so I thought I had like a little bit of a chance of getting into Townsend.
I was pretty confident, but I also had some doubt in myself because I knew that for one, that even if I didn't get into Townsend, there would always be other options, but I felt like Townsend was a place where I really aspired to be and I could see myself going to every day.
I wasn't that confident. I mean, I was confident, but like to a degree when submitting my essay, because I knew that I was going to be technically in competition with a bunch of other great students. And I remember checking on the NYC DOE website that 24 students last year competed for one seat in Townsend, which is a lot of students. But I was preparing myself for like that rejection or failure, and that there's once one door closes, another one opens, but thankfully I got in.
So in showing how the high school application process works, we're given a better idea of the skills and ideas of incoming freshmen. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Keeping It Classic. Preserving the past, inspiring the future. Catch you next time on Keeping It Classic.